This is Gavin from Lenovo Social. We would like to welcome you to our unboxing of the ThinkPad tablet, one of the 3 Lenovo tablets coming soon to a town near you. I'm here today with product experts Kevin Beck and special guest Richard LeBennett. Guys, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Gavin.
You guys are looking at the tablet right now, and I might turn it over to Richard and Kevin. And we literally don't have a box to unbox it from today, Kevin. So let's pretend you usually slash the box.
I have gotten so used to bringing in my ceremonial box cutter here. If you guys let us know on YouTube if you really want to see us pull it out of the box when we do get a box, we'll do it for you. But we wanted to go ahead and get this out at this early stage, even though we don't have a production box yet. So I'm going to begin briefly by pointing out that this is the ThinkPad tablet encased in its optional portfolio. I believe we're calling it Richard case. So let me go ahead and sort of do my ceremonial opening at least. This is a magnetic latch that holds it closed. That'll fold back there and stay out of your way. So as you stand it up here, you can see that you've got 3 grooves for 3 different reading positions / angles. So this is something that's relatively unique in the industry as far as having a dedicated portfolio keyboard case. There are others, but there are no others, correct me if I'm wrong, Richard, that have an integrated pointing device.
That's right, we're the only ones.
So this will be a ThinkPad signature track point enablement, a first in the industry in a Android-based tablet. Note, however, for those of you who are gracious enough to buy one of these from us, it is not your standard rubber-covered old-school ThinkPad track point. There just simply was not enough room in the mechanism to accommodate one of those, so we've gone with an optical touch point or track type device in the touch pad type technology in a track point device. So I've woken the device up here, but I want to get started by pulling this out of its dock. You will note that it docks simply with a USB connector, which we think is of value, and Rich will explain later. So on this surface here, we've got the singular USB, note full-sized USB connector. I said singular, actually it's not. There are 2, one full-sized, and then on the bottom here you have your industry standard micro USB. This is our proprietary docking connector for the docking and charging that I'll, or rather for the charging dock that I'll show you in a few minutes. Mini HDMI out, your combination headphone and microphone port. There's a little cover here that pulls down. That gets you to your full-sized SD card slot and the slot for your SIM card on models that are enabled for wireless WAN.
Real quick, guys, I'm more of a novice than you product experts. Richard, the full USB, is that fairly unusual for tablets?
Yeah, we're actually the only ones in the industry with a full-size USB slot. So
okay.
So far, but
so far.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's more coming, but that's okay.
But there's also a key thing about this that I'll get Richard to explain in detail, that we've added the drivers for standard mouse and keyboard support.
Right. So the USB, full-size USB slot allows you to connect our optional keyboard folio, and the reason we chose USB connection versus a Bluetooth is to not only protect your battery life, but also security. We didn't want you streaming data over the airwaves, so we went with a USB connection.
And we'll get into security in much more detail a little bit later. We're going to hit the sort of IT administrator points a little bit later in the video, but also wanted to point out, you mentioned the battery life. What is the battery life on the ThinkPad tablet?
Up to 8 hours.
Okay.
All right, well, let me just round out these ports here. Here's your volume up and down, and here's something else that is currently, again, unique in the industry. There are 1 or 2 others out there that claim to have digitizer pen enablement, but none of them are currently integrated into the casing of the device. So there's an accommodation here for a tether, so you can loop a string tether through that and stick it on your pen so that you don't lose it. There's a little hole there for that. So Richard will show you the functionality of that a little later. And then there's your power button. So if you'll hold that briefly, Richard, I just want to finish my part here.
Guys, Kevin, one quick point about the pen too. It's interesting. We have our long history in the laptop line in the X series with having the pen as well as our W series, but it's interesting now to see it coming over to the new style tablet space as well.
And this just isn't only a simple sort of dumb pointing device. There's actually digitizer enablement for full handwriting capture.
Okay.
So just want to sort of round out the discussion of ports and docking here. This is the charging dock. You've got a full-size USB here on the side, micro USB on the back, headphone, microphone, and let me dock this and I'll finish my conversation. It uses for charging, in the case of the dock, a full-sized standard ThinkPad 65-watt adapter. So you've got commonality with all those other ThinkPads that you own. And then without the dock, should you choose not to purchase it, you've got an industry standard micro USB-based charger here. So, Richard, take it away.
Okay, sure. So let me get her going, get her started here.
As you're doing that, I might rattle off a couple of the specs, the guts, right?
Right.
So we're looking at what, an NVIDIA Tegra 2 processor, right?
That's exactly right.
And of course running Google Android 3.1.
Honeycomb.
Talk to me about the display.
So the display is a 10.1-inch display with, it also has IPS technology for wide viewing angles, so you can see it from a wide number of angles. We can all look at it together and see what's going on the screen.
And our
it's also
favorite.
got Gorilla Glass for scratch and impact resistance. So it's a lot more robust than a standard tablet that you'll find on the market. We don't recommend that you stand on it like we did with our X1, but certainly with a device like this, you want to make sure that it doesn't break very easily. So what should we cover next? What should we talk about?
Well, talk to me about the apps on there. We're starting to see the interface, and maybe just tell people we've got another unboxing on the YouTube channel for our IdeaPad K1. And you'll see some commonalities here as far as the, I know you're going to want to tell them about the Lenovo App Store and that sort of thing, but
right.
Maybe tell us a little bit about that, Richard.
Well, when we started designing this tablet, we knew that it had to be a great user tablet. So first of all, ThinkPad is well known for its business devices, but it had to be a good user experience. And so we did some things that you'll see on some of our other tablets, like the Lenovo launcher here, also known as the Lucky Launcher because it has the four-leaf clover kind of look, which gives you easy access to apps that you would typically use. You can fully customize it here, change the color if you wanted to, and make it your own. Similar to how a lot of tablets, they also resemble kind of like the same experience you have with your phone. It's a very personal device, so you want to make it your own. Settings here are very easy to access, and you can see we built in a lot of different setting usages like security that you wouldn't normally find. Sending your display out via HDMI. Can't find it on here, but sending your screen out via HDMI is also some options that you would find. So that's kind of what we're doing here with the Lenovo launcher. In addition, we have the Social Touch application, which here has all of my Facebook, Twitter, Google, Gmail, and Google Calendar all in one. And you can add as many email accounts as you would like. So really putting all of your friends, even your business, things that you like to get done, all in one interface.
I kind of like the mashup aspect of that, where it's just bringing everything together in one stream. That's
Right,
nice.
right. You don't have to go 5, 6 different apps or different websites to get there. Some other things that we did here is the Lenovo App Shop. So if I could get that to come up for me, please.
Come on, App Shop.
Come on, App Shop. We know you're there. Let me try hitting the app. There we go.
Richard, where'd you get this unit? These aren't on sale yet. We're wondering if you bought this on the
So
street.
this is
The disclaimer here being that these are obviously pre-production models.
right. So this is a pre-production model. Even the paint here is not the final paint that you'll find on the keyboard
Oh,
folio.
really?
So we wanted to make sure that we got it to you early, that you guys are getting a first look at the technology that we're coming out with. But the Lenovo App Shop is a pretty cool idea, and it's basically taking the larger Android market and vetting and curating all of the apps to make sure that you're getting apps that are built specifically for a Honeycomb tablet device. You're not going to get apps on the App Shop that were built for Froyo or built for a phone. You're going to get apps that were built specifically for this device. There's also what you call the Appverse here. And so here are some friends that I've met on the Appverse, and they are telling me which apps they're downloading and what apps they find to be cool and neat. And so that's another way, as you know, to find things via word of mouth. So you don't have to find the best advertised app. You find the app that all your friends are using, and what you would find, what you would probably like to use on your tablet as well.
Those of us on the social media team appreciate that app as well. That's cool.
So of course we have the pen, and one of the cool features about the pen is that you'll find that everywhere I can use my finger, I can also use my pen. So that's one thing that's really different about our tablet. A lot of them have come out and they can only use the pen in certain places, or they can only use their finger, and we wanted to break those barriers down and make sure that you could use the pen anywhere you wanted to. So one of the really cool things that we use our pen for is handwriting recognition, and of course we've seen that in years past, but with this application by Vision Objects called Notes Mobile, it's got a very very nice interface to allow you to write in either freehand. So I'm going to try to write.
We'll see how sloppy your handwriting is.
Yeah. Don't judge me by my handwriting.
Better than mine.
In freehand, or convert it to text. So you see it works,
Very cool.
works very well. So that's one way you can do it. You can also just simply write, and it should automatically read it and convert it for you. So especially for students, or when I'm in a meeting, or you don't want to take a full notebook and type it out, you can use this. It can also export via as a text or as an image, so I can take notes, email it to myself, email it to my friends. I can export it as an image if I was drawing, scribbling on here, and just something that's very useful, something that helps you push the limits in terms of being able to use a pen, also being able to use your finger in terms of the input.
Sure. Now, Richard, you talked about sitting in meetings here at Lenovo and that sort of thing. We should talk about what separates this tablet from sort of average consumer tablets. And I know security was one of the things we wanted to talk about, and just in general, some of the things that are on here that are geared more towards, let's say I'm I'm an IT administrator at a large company. What kind of things are on this thing that are going to help me do my job? I know we're shifting away from sort of what you as a consumer user might want on this thing, but
right.
How about for the geeks out there and the people who might be doing deployments for a fairly large company?
Okay. So first off, we have McAfee antivirus installed on here, and that's something different that you wouldn't find on basically a consumer type device. So this really scans your device and makes sure that you haven't downloaded any malware, you're not surfing the web and downloading any viruses. That's something simple that we should all be used to in terms of security.
Sure.
But additionally, there are some settings that we've added for being able to encrypt your device, credentials, configuration profiles, being able to encrypt the SD card, which protects the data that's on there. For IT administrators, we are partnered with Landesk for an Active Directory. So there's what we like to call zero-touch deployment, where if you were a large enterprise, you could ship this to your employees. They can take it out of the box. They can log on and sync with HQ, if you will. And it would automatically encrypt and start pushing down profiles so that home base can sort of take control and make sure that you're not doing anything that would compromise the device or the data or anything that you may be doing on the device. So security and being able to manage the device was something very important to us with the ThinkPad tablet.
That's pretty cool, and that obviously fits in with our heritage, serving up ThinkPad laptops to some of the larger enterprises. Some of our big customers will be happy to hear that.
Right.
Guys, what else do we need to cover before we wind it up? We don't want to keep people here on our YouTube channel all day, do we?
Well, I think we've covered just about everything. We've got some apps. We won't show them, but since we do have the full USB enablement for keyboard, mice, and external storage devices, very easy to get things off and on it plug in an external USB key and drag them over to the local file system.
Right.
Much easier to deal with.
We've been hearing a lot about the great options that go along with the ThinkPad tablet, and we'll be our options blogger Lee Highsmith will be putting up a blog post around the time you see this video. This thing will be going on sale by the time you see this. It'll be probably a few weeks away, but you'll be able to buy this thing on Lenovo.com. And it's going to start at $499. Richard, is that right?
That's right.
And an extra, how much extra? $30 for the pen or something like that.
30
right?
bucks extra for the pen, so $529.
Great. And guys, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
And
that was good, man.
Great. Nicely done, sir.
That's awesome.
I was talking too
Yeah, just
much.
check my phone like that.